What's up guys, Justin here of Yugatech, and back in August, the Reno4 launched here in the Philippines, and it's certainly one of OPPO's most iconic phones in 2020. It has a really good mix of features that includes a nice AMOLED display, capable chipset, lots of memory, great cameras, and a sizable battery that charges pretty fast. We reviewed this device when it was launched in August, but you know how reviews go. We only get a week or a couple of weeks of time with the device, and that's not always indicative of how actually owning the phone for a long time will be like. So in this video, we're gonna be revisiting the Reno4 and we're gonna share with you guys how the experience has been almost 4 months later. This is our long-term drive with the OPPO Reno4. Starting with design, the Reno4 is definitely one of the most eye-catching smartphones in the mid-range market with its Reno Glow design that achieves a matte finish on the back while still having glittery details. The metallic frame also adds some extra flair, and all these months later, I still can't get enough of how pretty this looks. And things aren't too shabby either on the front end, as the display is surrounded by very thin bezels, allowing a more full-screen experience that has been great for watching videos and playing games. The screen panel itself is also really good, being a 6.4-inch AMOLED display with a resolution of 2400 by 1080 pixels. With this, we get a nice tight pixel density of 409 pixels per inch, and it has really helps in keeping details sharp. I do a lot of text-based tasks on a daily basis, and having a sharp screen like this is very important for that sort of thing. And the Reno4 screen has not disappointed in that regard. It also shows vibrant colors and deep blacks being an AMOLED panel. This has made watching content on YouTube or Netflix really great. And as watching content goes, audio is also important. The Reno4's single downward-firing speaker has been decent enough when I want to watch something in a pinch. But I usually find myself gravitating towards headphones, and since the Reno4 has both a 3.5mm headphone jack and Bluetooth 5.1, I've been able to comfortably use my favorite wired headphones and TWS earphones without any issues. As for the Reno4's performance, so far it hasn't shown any signs of struggle at all for the things I need to do with it. It handles multitasking like a champ, which is a direct result of that hefty 8GB of RAM that has made the entire experience feel quite full. The Snapdragon 720G on board serves as a good centerpiece that has allowed us to do almost any heavy task with no worry. A perfect example for this is those times when I feel the urge to play a graphically intensive mobile game. And during those times, guys, I did not experience much lags or frame drops at all. It's just a really solid performer of a phone in a sense that it may not be flagship levels like the Find X2 for example, but it doesn't need to be. The level of performance it gives is more likely than not to be quite enough for most people, and that's respectable. But perhaps the most reliable aspect about the Reno4 thus far has been its cameras. During our entire experience with this device, every time we've needed to whip out the phone to take pictures or videos, the quality has been consistently good. The rear camera module comes with a high-resolution 48-megapixel main sensor, an ultra-wide lens, a macro lens, and a depth sensor. Just with those four, almost every type of shot you'd usually take is already covered. And when it comes to the front camera, we also get high resolution given the 32-megapixel sensor. This allows selfies to look very detailed, color accurate, and dynamic. As for raw quality, meaning all we did was use the standard photo mode, you can see that it's already very good as is. They're nice and sharp, the color reproduction is excellent, and we get decent dynamic range. Moreover, the unique camera modes have been quite fun to use so far. For example, we have the AI Color Portrait, which singles out the color of your subject while taking out the color from the background, leaving you with a fully colored subject with a black and white background. It is reminiscent of certain sequences from Sin City: A Dame to Kill For. We also have Night Flare, which is a low light mode that isn't just like your standard long exposure night mode. It gives a pleasant bokeh effect at night where the scene is more likely to have little spots of light, which is where bokeh comes from in the first place. All in all, for the Reno4's cameras, I think the results speak for themselves, and again, it has been reliable in our usage and experience. It's pretty much a perfect device for creatives and content creators in this regard. Now, tying the entire thing together, let's talk about battery. So we get a capacity of 4015 mAh with support for OPPO's 30 watts VOOC 4.0 flash charge. In terms of our daily real-world usage, battery life has averaged out to about 1 whole day of moderate to heavy usage that involves a lot of different tasks. This ranges from social media apps to video streaming to gaming and to even using the cameras for extended periods of time. The battery has been able to handle all of that at a decent pace. And even if we get to a point where the battery drain is slightly faster, that's no problem. Since we do get that 30 watts VOOC charging, we can reliably get all the way back to 100% in a relatively short amount of time. But overall, in terms of power, heavy users are welcome, but medium to moderate usage is where the Reno4 shines. From my experience, with medium day-to-day usage filled with social media browsing, video streaming, and some occasional gaming, the Reno4 lasted me about 9.5 hours without charging, so you won't really have to worry about getting low bat every now and then. And finally, to wrap this up, the experience with the Reno4 has been extraordinary. I've personally used every single Reno device for some amount of time ever since the first one came out, and I can say that every iteration has been more exciting than the last. Improvements in all aspects are present, and with the Reno4, it comes to a point where any improvements from here on are just going to elevate the series to a whole new level. But that's enough speculation. On a present scale, the Reno4 definitely passes the long-term test and is a great option of a smartphone that will keep the needs of most users satisfied, especially in terms of design, display, performance, cameras, and battery life. You can say it would be a very special gift this season because of its great value. It's perfect for your loved ones or even as a treat to yourself if you're looking to upgrade your entry-level smartphone. Now, if you guys are interested in copying an OPPO Reno4 for yourself or for a loved one, then do consider the #OPPOJoy full sale that runs until December 31. This phone will have a special price of 18,990 pesos and participating units will come with exclusive freebies. Now, I'm gonna pass the question off to you guys. What do you think about this OPPO Reno4? Let us know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video, be sure to drop a like, subscribe to our channel for more content, hit that bell icon so you don't miss any future uploads, and be sure to visit yugatech.com for the latest tech news and reviews. Once again, this is Justin, and don't forget to wash your hands and stay at home.